Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Divine Healing with Love experience. Welcome back to the capital LOVE tribe. Thank you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for showing up for yourself, for loving yourself, for being present. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for choosing to heal, choosing to love yourself, choosing to be mindful, to be intentional. Thank you for choosing to become your best version, choosing to become more self-enlightened, self-aware. Thank you for loving yourself. Thank you for being kind to yourself, nurturing yourself. Thank you for all the things that you're doing. Thank you for being an asset and not a liability. Thank you for adding light and love to the collective. Thank you for however you are serving the collective, serving your higher self. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for all the things you are doing. My name is Nicole. It's a true honor and pleasure to be here with you, to connect with you, to, just be here with you right here, right now. Okay. So, this is going to be another video from my global channeling series. And today's video for our collective is being a light worker, or even if you don't identify as a light worker, okay? A light worker is someone that seeds the light into the collective, into the earth to help others. Your career is a reflection of your light work, okay? So whatever it is that you do for your work, this does not mean that you could have a job that is, connected to spirituality or religion, but you don't have to. You could be a light worker and be a lawyer. You could be a teacher. You could be a counselor. You could be someone that is working customer service. You could be a chef. You could be a waitress, a waiter, a server. You could be someone working at the stores, a doctor, a healer, doesn't matter, okay? You are someone that is spreading the light and seeding the light within the collective. And that's what a light worker is, okay? You could be a creative, you could be an artist. However, you are sharing your light with the world and the collective. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do and what you are doing and what you represent. We need you. We love you. We appreciate you. We are so grateful for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As a light worker, or just, in general, your location where you live matters. It matters a lot. It's very crucial for your journey of self-awareness, self-enlightenment, self-love. Very important. Where you were born is very essential and significant to your journey, to your story, to giving you a lot of information about yourself and finding yourself and your purpose on a deeper level. So, where you are born, and again, where you choose to live, where your residence is, your home, is very important because of the light and the purpose that you have during that time frame when you were born and where you choose to live. So living in a place where, number one, and I'm really trying to be very present with this. I took some notes, but I'm really trying to be very present with this information. Where you are born tells a lot about where your journey starts, begins, and ends. And like when I say end, meaning like I'm not talking about like how your life ends. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about meaning like it's almost like it gives you a true idea of your purpose, your like part of like the type of things that you will be encountering in life and the type of things that you will encounter on your journey. Because where you were born is going to, that climate, the landscape, the energy is developing your skill set for your purpose, for your journey from there on out. If that makes sense. Like it's molding you, stretching you, growing you, pushing you from where you were born. And some of you may be in a place where like you were born in one place, but you moved a lot. And that's a part of it too. Like even if you moved a lot growing up, moved from different territories, that tells a lot about part of your purpose. So I want to talk about using like physical location to understand part of your journey, your purpose, and your sense of duty, or the things that you are meant to discover and do during your life journey, this lifetime, and how, again, the location, the physical location matters, okay? So when you think about where you were born, you think about like the year you were born, what was happening during that time? What was going on? What was going on around you physically? Was it crime? Was it disasters, like natural disasters, or war, things like that? I'm going to use myself for an example. So I was born in 1984, and I was born in Washington, D.C. I was born in D.C., but I grew up in Maryland in Prince George's County. Shout out to PG County. Always, okay? So that's where I grew up. But I was born in D.C., and like all of my family's from D.C. During that time in 1984, that was right before or right during the time where crack started coming in, crack cocaine, okay? And as the years went on, the late 80s, early 90s, I remember hearing all the time growing up, like DC is the murder capital of the world, or the country, or whatever. I think it was the country, I guess, because of all the murders that were happening. And as a child, I felt that energy. I've been going back doing my inner child healing. I felt that energy very deeply. I didn't know what I was feeling at the time. I was very sensitive and very empathic. And I was in a suburb, at the time, but it was very close to DC. And I went to DC all the time to visit family and stuff like that. So I was right in the heart of that. And that was a very, very destructive time for many communities. The crack cocaine epidemic caused a lot of trauma, a lot of murders. Just a lot of darkness came in through that, okay? A lot of things changed, This isn't the video. I don't feel like going through all of that, but it caused a lot of destruction for so many people in so many communities across, at least I know and within the United States, but probably within the world as well. I really don't know about the global aspect of that, But during that time, me dealing with those energies that I was dealing with at that time, and that although I was a child, there was still some intuitive understanding of the things that were going on and how that impacted my family. Because again, the crack cocaine era impacted so many families, so many people on a very deep personal level. And there was a huge impact on my family, and I'm sure many other families and communities. And I recognize that the type of development that I was developing at that time, the type of sensitivity, the empathic abilities that I was developing during that time to support me on what I'm doing now. Now, fast forward, I lived in that area, the DC area, Prince George's County, and that area for all of my life until I came here. I'm in the Los Angeles area now. And I've been here now since 2020, so almost 3 years. And it's been really tough. The landscape here is very tough. And so I want to dial it back for a second. So when I moved here, I was guided to move here. Now, the guidance I felt was more, at the time, I thought more of my desire, because I was desiring to be a screenwriter, because that was my desire at the time. So I felt that the guidance was to move out here to be more connected with that, and be able to enter into that industry by living in the area. However, my path has completely changed, because that's not what I'm doing at all. But more of that was developed since I moved here. So I was guided to move out here. And this is why, again, where you live is very crucial for your journey. Very impactful, very important, significant. Where you travel is very significant for your journey, because there's activations that parts of this earth is activating you to go deeper within your purpose, deeper within yourself, within your soul, deeper on your journey. And you don't have certain activations or certain energies, you don't align with that unless you do travel or move or, follow the guidance that you're guided to do, okay? Maybe everyone isn't guided to move, and that's okay. But I feel for many of us on our journey, the guidance will be clear about traveling. And these things are very important for you. Very important for you to follow that guidance, because it's going to open up more portals to support you on your journey. So when I moved out here to LA, I was already identifying as a light worker, but I did not realize how tough it would be living out here. It's absolutely tough. As someone, again, I'm a light worker. This is like, LA is tough. It's the energy here is so harsh, because you literally have zombies on the street. And I'm not talking about homeless people, okay? Like, you literally have demons and zombies walking the street. Now, this is not to scare anyone that wants to move here. This is not, I'm giving my personal experience here. And this is not to, malign Los Angeles, Lost Angels, okay? This is not to, like, oh, LA it's beautiful people here. This city or this area has so much beauty in certain pockets and potential, but I have to be real. What they've done, I'm talking about like the nefarious energies, okay, the evil energies, the demonic energies, what they've done to this city and this area is horrendous and disgusting. And I now realize why I was sent to live out here. There's so many soulless individuals that live here. And unfortunately, they literally absorb all of the light from the beautiful people that live here in this city, in this area. When I moved out here, I had never seen demons and zombies just walking the street so freely. And again, I am not talking about homeless people, because this area, Los Angeles area, has a large homeless population. Okay, there are a lot of homeless people that live here. There are a lot of people who are struggling with drug addictions, mental illnesses, things like that, where they are unfortunately living on the street, or, their circumstances are, dire because of that. It's a lot of souls that come out here who get lost. They lose their soul, literally. They come out here one way and they get completely manipulated and their soul is taken from them. And it's evident in so many things. It's evident in the food. I can't tell you how many like times I've gone to eat out and I'm like, this is horrible. Like, and it's because you have soulless people. They're cooking the food. They're, you know, operating the businesses, the entertainment industry. People want to go see that Hollywood sign. When I look at the Hollywood sign, you know what I see? I see dead bodies hanging. I see blood. I see bloodshed. Like it's no joke out here. It's no joke. And it's so harsh where there's no hope in the eyes and the people out here. Like the people working, like it's sad. Like I could cry. Like I really could. Like there's a lack of light. There's a lack of hope. You know, I'm not talking about everyone. I don't want, again, there's so many amazing people out here, but I see the damage that demonic energy has done to this city, to this area. And it's horrible. And I see why I was sent out here. At some point, like probably 6 to 8 months after I moved here, I was like, I don't want to live here anymore. Like people would ask me like, how do I like it? And I was like, it's okay. Like, you know, and I was like, you know, I'm adjusting. And at first I thought like, okay, it's my first time moving out of where I had lived for all of my life. And I was like, give it some more time. And I didn't understand at the time that it's not LA, it's the frequency. It's the frequency that's like, energetically, it's not attractive. It doesn't feel good. You have to like really put some certain things in place, in my opinion, for it to feel good and comfortable, in my opinion. That's just me, okay? And the type of light worker that I am, I've grown tremendously from being out here because it is so harsh. I'm talking about LA has kicked my, like certain points on this journey, it's been rough where I felt so like drained, compromised. Like I've had, I don't know how many attacks since I've been living out here. And part of it too is me being on YouTube and learning how to protect myself, learning how to protect my energy, learning how to ground my energy. But this landscape has been so, it's been a huge learning experience and a huge learning curve. And this is something where it's like, pay attention to where you travel, where you live. This has so much spiritual knowledge and wisdom for you to unpack. And I will say, living in a landscape like this, where the energy is so low, because this is a very low vibrational city. Okay, I'm going to be flat out straight to the point. This is a very low vibrational area, period. It's high vibe areas here, but they're harder to find. And, you know, those portals for high vibrational energy is harder to find here because the dominant frequency is low vibration. That's why we have so much homelessness. That's why we have so much of the haves and the have-nots. There's really no middle. I mean, there is middle class here, but it's more of like people struggling and people who are rich. And it's like a huge disparity. It really is. And again, you kind of have a middle class. if we're speaking in terms of physical, right? But it's really, like I said, it's like one or the other. The same thing with like everything is really unbalanced here. You know, it's either too much sun and then no rain. And then this year we were getting so much rain, like where it caused damage and destruction for people. The energy here is completely polarizing. There is no balance, or it's trying to find its balance. I'm sure me and other light workers here are trying to help it to find this balance, but where you travel to and where you live is so important, because the high frequency portals that are there in certain places here on Earth has, I mean, I don't know how many portals, billions of portals for high frequency energy, for more enlightenment, more connection to the universe, more connection to the cosmic energies that we have available to us, the cosmos, you know, whatever you want to call it. And if you are living or traveling to higher vibrational places, okay, and I'm not saying that like high vibe places are places where you don't have homeless people, or places where you don't have hunger, or places, stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying that. I was just using that for an example for the Los Angeles area. But there, you still have high vibrational places where there are people who are struggling, but it's still higher frequency. You may have people that are struggling, but they're not on drugs. They're not, addicted to all sorts of things. Because once again, Los Angeles, you have a lot of addictions here. And it's not just addiction to drugs. It's addiction to money, greed, abuse of power. The whole entertainment industry, Hollywood, that was built off of what? Pedophilia? I mean, I don't even know if I could say some of these words, but you know what I mean? Like, you have that energy is still here. And these souls that come here with a dream, with hope, with an open heart, a pure heart, are quickly sucked out. And unfortunately, some of them pass away because of, what they've encountered out here. Because again, this is not for the weak at all. I'm going to say that again. This is not for the weak. And it's not just the Los Angeles area. It's other areas as well, all around the world, where it is not for the weak. Like, it's very low vibrational. The frequency is not as attractive, or the attraction is an illusion, because it's an illusion. It's a lot of illusionary energy here. So you do, like with the sun being out, like that is attractive. And sidebar, like, it's so weird here. Like, when it rains, I get so happy. That's number one, because it's washing away a lot of that, demonic energy, washes away a lot of that stuff. But when it gets dark, like, these demons and zombies walk the street in the light. But when it gets dark, I mean, I went through a period where I was in the house before it got dark. Like, legit, I was breaking through the fears, because I'm very sensitive and I did not know how to protect myself. And when I get attacked, I feel that, like, I'm at the point now where it's like, I know how to protect myself now. But at the time, like, I did not want to be out at night. Like, that's just how bad it was for me as an extreme sensitive empath, light worker in the Los Angeles area. I was like, no, like, it's too demonic for me. Like, no. But like I said, I'm not in that place anymore. But let me get back on track. So, okay, you have to just trust the journey. Okay, because sometimes we're put in situations, we're guided to go certain places where we don't understand. Like I said, when I was guided to come to LA, it was under, I thought, screenwriter, I want to explore this writing career, things like that. And I ended up starting my spiritual business and being on YouTube and really growing spiritually, extremely, like at a very rapid rate, despite all these things that are going on around me, literally. So I'm trusting the journey. I had to trust the journey. So you have to trust the journey on your path and trust where you're being guided to travel to, trust where you're being guided to live, trust if you are guided to move somewhere different every few years, that don't allow people to make you feel like you're a nomad or you're just this person that's just picking up and going everywhere. You have to just keep moving around and you just keep jumping around. Like, trust your journey, trust where you're being guided to go, trust where this journey is leading you, because you don't know the activations, you don't know the portals, you don't know where your light is needed, where your energy is needed. Because again, I do feel that the light workers that are here, where I am now in the Los Angeles area, we are here to equalize, balance, and stabilize this energy and bring more of that equity in, because it's not balanced. And that has to change, because this area does have beauty and potential and it can be better than what it is now. But if I had given up, I would have moved already. And, again, I just wait for the guidance for where I go next, what I do next, where I go next, how I move. And people don't understand that. And that's okay. I don't need them to understand it. I need to trust and know what I'm here to do. I have a different journey. Everyone's journey is unique and different for them, but I have to know that Nicole's journey is her own journey and that I am safe, I am protected, and I am cared for. And if I do get guided to live somewhere for a year and then move on, then that's what it is, and everything's going to work out, despite what my own personal feelings could be about that. Maybe my personal feelings are like, oh, I don't know. No, I want to stay here. But if that's where I'm being guided and everything is pointing to go to make the move, I have to follow it and I have to trust it. And so I encourage you to trust your journey with that and trust. And I'm not, again, trust the guidance that's available. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you need to move every year. I'm not saying anything like that. But trust your journey for traveling. Trust your journey for changing the location of where you live. Trust it. And if you are in a position where you travel really often, like you travel frequently for work, for pleasure, whatever the situation is, that you are divinely guided to go to those places for specific reasons. And those reasons may be unbeknownst to you at that time, but at some point it's going to make sense. At some point, everything will click, integrate, and align where you were like, okay, like I understand why I went there, or why I traveled there, or why I had that experience, or why I lived in that place. And that the place where you were born is a very important message for you and who you are, what you represent, and your journey. And many of us were born in places where it was tough. It was difficult. Like the climate, the things that were happening at the time, the type of energy that people were in at the time, like it wasn't easy. But again, that was something specific for us, for our individual journey, for our individual story, for how we're meant to navigate this world, this earth, this landscape, because it's all purposeful and it's all like, it all makes sense at some point. It all connects, it all makes sense at some point. So just trust yourself, trust the guidance, trust the journey. If no one told you they love you today, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in and listening and taking the time to, be present. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love yourself, honor yourself, cherish yourself. Be kind to yourself, heal yourself. Take time to be more self aware, patient with yourself, nurture yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't criticize yourself. You're doing an amazing job. Please be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. I love you. I'll see you next time.